Okay, welcome. So today we are going to be painting a flower on this vase, this small bud vase that you received in your subscription box, the Unbridled Faith subscription box. So last month was April showers bring, guess what? May flowers. So that is our theme for this month, May flowers. Not the Mayflower, but May flowers. Okay, I love these little bud vases. They're really cute and they have kind of this weathered look to them, but they keep really well. They have them in all colors. So I gave y'all purple. All right, so this is going to be really easy and a lot of fun. I'm going to set that aside for a minute. So you've got your paints and your paintbrush. I've chosen these three colors. I've got a red, yellow, and white. You can choose whatever. Everybody, some of you got different colors. Then half of you got a set of like 6 colors or 8 colors, and the other half a different set of colors. So pick whatever color you want. But oranges and yellows and lighter colors are going to look good on this purple vase. So that's why I picked these colors, because I'm going to mix the red and the yellow and make orange, and I might put some pink. I don't know. I don't actually know what I'm going to do. We're going to figure it out when I get to doing this. And you've also got your paintbrush, okay? And I have mine in water over here, and it's a flat paintbrush, and you're going to need that because I'm going to show you a little technique. If you see a little piece like on mine coming off, you can cut it or pull it. Mine doesn't want to behave. I'm going to try to pull it. Well, I curled it. Anyway, you need scissors. I don't have any scissors right off the top of my hand. Okay, so get you a cup of water. Put your paintbrush in the water. That's what I have off to the side that you can't see. And then I have just some paper towel. And that's to blot my brush on, okay? So let me rearrange this. Again, this is going to be super simple. And look, if you mess up, you can, because this is slick, you can wash it off. Now later, we're going to seal it. And once we seal it, you can't wash it off. But until then, you can just wipe it right off. At least I think you can. I've done this before. Okay, so I'm going to mix that's driving me crazy. Hold on. I got to cut this. I got to get the scissors. And luckily, I have them right here. So you can see that little piece right there? I got to get rid of that. That's got to go. There, it's gone. Okay, so I'm going to mix some. Oh, my red is kind of pink, actually. I just realized. Well, that's fine. And then I'm going to pull in some of this yellow. And I'm going to see if I can get a kind of an orangey color. Just for fun, I just kind of want to see what this looks like. Okay, I like it all right. And I'm going to pull in a little bit of white. I don't know if y'all can hear my dog in the background. He's panting. I don't know why. It was a long time ago when we went on a walk. Okay, I kind of like that. That's like a little peach color. And it's fun. Just play with your paints. Mix colors if you want. Use the colors you have. I just like playing around with stuff. I may not use this color. I'm just messing around here. So you can kind of see what I've got. It almost looks like that looks like mustard. That looks like ketchup. And that looks like Thousand Island. Okay. So I'll decide if I'm going to use that in a minute. Now, one thing I want to do, I'm rinsing my brush off. So one thing I want to do is take some of the yellow over here and some of the white and make a little bit lighter of a yellow. So I'm going to do that. And I'm just doing this on a paper plate. You don't have to have a palette to do this. You can, if you have a paper plate. Now, you need a paper plate with a coating on it, because otherwise it will absorb in just a regular paper plate. Now I'm rinsing my brush off, and I'm going to try something. First of all, I meant to tell you this. Wipe your bud vase off with a damp cloth and then dry it real quick, just in case it has any kind of dust on it. Mine did, actually, and it came kind of packaged. It wasn't completely clean. So just wipe that off. And then find the side where you think you want to paint something. So I'm going to paint, and you can see my ring light right here. Sorry about that. I'll figure out how to get rid of that in another video. But I'm going to use this area here to paint. And I'm just going to paint a really simple flower. And I want to show you a technique. So if you dip half of your flat brush in the yellow or whatever, just a color, pick a color. You're going to pick two colors, but start with one color here. Put half. That kind of went more than half, but that's fine. And then dip the other half in another color. Like that. So now I've got yellow and white. Okay, yellow and white. Do that. And then, and you can practice this before you put it on here. I'm just going to go for it. But you can practice this on a piece of paper. I'm going to make a petal. And so my petal is going to start right in the middle of that ring light that's on my face. And it's going to start with the tip that's yellow down, the darker color down, and the lighter color up, which is white. And I'm going to run my petal like this. So what I did here was, I'm going to do it again. Let me get more yellow. I'm turning the white tip down to meet the yellow. You can kind of see that little tail right there, and that's fine. We'll cover that up in a minute. Actually, I kind of wish I had started that higher up. You know what? Let me demonstrate how to fix that. We're going to do it again. So I'm dipping a paper towel in some water, and I wiped it off. Okay, so if you mess up, wipe it off. So that's what I'm doing there, and then dry it. I realized after I did it that I didn't like where I put it. Part of it is I'm looking through my phone lens instead of right at the object, and I don't usually paint that way. I look at the object. So it's harder for me. Okay, so I'm going to start over. I'm going to get a little bit of the yellow on one side of the brush and a little bit of white on the other side. All right, I'm going to try this again. So I'm going to do a little higher up this time. Let me get under the camera. Okay, so I'm going to put pressure on the darker side, lift my petal up, bring the white down to the yellow. Does that make sense? So I'm not going to do it here, but I'm going up, putting pressure with the yellow down, and then I'm twisting my brush and bringing the white back down. Okay, now it doesn't look beautiful yet. Don't worry. It will get better. It will get better as time goes on. Now I'm going to do the same thing right beside it. And I'm going to try to keep the petals kind of even. Now I'm going to turn my bud vase. I'm going to keep making these petals. And after each one, I'm just dipping it in my paint. Dipping it in the paint. And if you feel like I feel like I've got quite a bit of white, I might start putting a little bit more yellow on here. And not always dipping it so heavy in the white. And that's what I just did. Just remember, you can wipe it off. So I'm just going to keep going around. My hands are getting kind of messed up. Oop. A little bit more yellow. Now I might get a little more white in here. gonna start thinking about my placement here because I've pretty much got room for one more petal. I could maybe do two, but I think just one. So I'm gonna come in here, and each time I place the petal, I connect my yellow toward the middle. Okay, so there is my flower. I actually kind of like it just the way it is. I may not change it. I like it. I don't think I'm going to change it, and that's amazing. Let me bring it up here so you can see it. So you can still see a little bit of the purple peeking through. Now, it's up to you at this point. If you have brown or green, or you don't even have to have those colors, or white, you can make a stem. Like if I was going to make a stem, I'm not doing it, but I might make one come down here. But I just like it just with the flower. That one little flower. I don't even know if I'm going to do one on the other side. Maybe for fun. Well, maybe for purposes of this video, I'll do one. I'll do some different ones on the other side. So now I'm going to take a little bit of the red and white. I decided not to use that color that I made that looks like Thousand Island. I don't like that color. I changed my mind. Okay, so let's see over here. Let me think. I might do, I'm thinking through this a little bit. Hold on. I might do, this like isn't a real flower, but I might do a heart and connect my hearts. So I see how I'm making a heart here. Can you see that? So I did, that's one petal. So now I'm going to dip it more in the red because I want to get some more pink. It has a little too much red. Okay. Now I'm going to do another heart over here. So I'm making one side of the heart, two sides of the heart. Okay. Can you see that? The glare is not great. Okay. Now I'm going to get a little more white on this one. I'm going to turn, now I got to be careful if you do this because my other side is still wet and I have the temptation to lay this down on the placemat, and I don't want to do that. So now I'm over here and I'm going to make a third heart. So I start in the center, go back to the center, back up, and back to the center with my heart. Okay, a little bit more red, a little more white. And now I'm going to make one final heart over here. So this is my fourth one, starting in the center, coming in, around, and in. That one didn't go quite as I planned because I'm turning my, let me hold it like this. I can fix that. And let's see here, I can come back and bring it down like that. Okay, and let's say you don't like one of your hearts, like this top one has a lot of white. I'm going to redo it. This is meant to be fun and not perfect, so don't get into perfection if you can help it. All right, so up I go. I'm making another one, coming back down, coming around. Now that one got a little sticky with the paint. I'll come back over that one. And then I think since I'm on a roll, I might go back over all of them like that. And now the colors are kind of starting to blend a little bit too. I like that. Okay, and then what? Oh, I've kind of lost my place, but I think I'm right here. Oops. off to the side in my video. Okay, that's not bad. That's kind of fun. So there is a fun little, that's another kind of flower. Now I'm going to rinse my brush because I think on this side I'm going to do multiples of these. So I'm dipping back into the red, then back into the white, and I'm going to do one, let's see. I think I'm going to do one. I'm going to start up here and it'll probably blend into the other one. Now you see I'm getting better as I go. So if I were you, if you want to practice a little bit, practice. I didn't practice, I just jumped right in. So it overlapped a little bit on the one that I already did. Oop, I ran off the camera there. Okay, let's see, where am I? Yeah, I gotta hold it in such a way I can get in here. All right. See, that one's better. I got better as I went. That's what happens. Okay, so that's it. That's gonna be my design. So you don't have to do both sides. You could do the same thing on both sides. You can do different colors. You can do different kinds of flowers, but I just kind of showed you. Now remember, with this one, I did each petal individually. With these, I made a heart. So it's two different ways. So I'll show you with my brush. The heart was, if I start at the bottom of a heart, we'll pretend, come up, make the point, come around, and then back down to the point at the bottom. Okay, so bump, bump, that's a heart. All right, now this one on this side was just a petal that started at the tip of the bottom of the V, right? And you go up and you come back down. And that's it. And then you start over and you go up and you come back down. So it's half a heart, basically. So there's two ways you can do it. There's lots of ways to do it, but for these flowers, that's just one of the ways. I don't know, maybe for fun, we should put another yellow one. Let's see if I can make this smaller. Now, it's, you know, you've got the same, unless you have other brushes at home, you've got the same size brush. So what you have to do to make it smaller is make your movements smaller. So teeny little movement there, teeny little movement there. That one smeared a little bit. But don't worry, because you can cover it up when you make your next petal. Okay, and then teeny little movement there. I've got enough paint. I feel like I can just keep going. Right now I might need a little more paint. So it's the movement of your hand that's gonna make these big or small. That one's overlapping a little bit, and I like that. You're gonna wanna wait until it's dry to do the overlapping, I think, or mostly dry so it doesn't smear the other one. Oh, I went off the camera there. Now, I feel like that one could potentially have one more right there, and then I could move this one over. All right, that's not bad. Now, what you can do when these dry is you can always go back. You can take the tip of your brush, put it in a color, like whatever the center color is. Oh, actually, you know, white might be better for the center color. Let me try white. And then just put a dot in the middle. You could do the same here. Whoops. I touched the back of that one onto the paper towel. You don't have to do this. I'm just messing around. There's those. And then I did kind of hit this on the paper towel. I don't think it smeared too much. You can do this, but you don't have to do that if you don't want to. Okay, so here's one side. This one's so much better. Can you? I'm trying to get a good. That one, that flower's so much better. This one got a little smeared. That's okay. I could wipe it off if I wanted to. You kind of got to wipe it quick though. I kind of like the big one, and then my little one. It's okay. It's good. It's good. There we go. All right, so as you're doing this, think about where God has placed you to bloom. So he's given us all gifts, talents, our temperament, our experiences, and our passions. And so all those things together, he will use to serve other people, to bring glory to him, and to benefit you, to bring you joy. So think about, this is this, May, we're going to consider May the season to bloom. And sometimes, you think about your challenges in life, and April was that, rain showers, right? So rain showers could be the equivalent to challenges in life. So what have you learned through the challenges in life that can help you help someone else, that can turn into something that grows and benefits yourself and somebody else? So that's the blooming. So once we go through challenges, our character is built more like Christ, and then we're able to bloom where we're planted. And you might think, well, I don't know where I'm planted. Like maybe I'm supposed to move, or maybe I'm supposed to quit what I'm doing and start something else. And that may be the case. But generally speaking, God is going to let you know when you're supposed to make big changes like that. And until you hear a very clear voice from him, and it's confirmed in his word and by other believers, you want to do the last thing that he's told you to do. And sometimes it doesn't even mean a ministry. It may mean that you sit at his feet and you listen to him, and you have quiet time with him, and you rest. So that's part of you blooming in your relationship with him. So as you do this, think about each petal and what God has gifted you to do, what your talents are, what your opportunities, what your experiences, and then think about pray about how he might want to use you in a way that maybe you're not currently aware of, or maybe he wants you to be still. And what is that going to look like for this season? Maybe it's a Bible study that you're going to get in, or maybe it's a devotional book that he's going to lead you to. But more importantly, he really wants us to sit at his feet and to hear from him very clearly about next steps and to get to know him. Okay, that's your art activity. Now, one thing I'm going to show you, I'm not going to do it now because this is not dry, but in your packet, you have a small plastic container. I don't have an example now, but it's just a plastic container. You know it, you'll see it. And there's a clear liquid in it. That liquid is Mod Podge. okay? And Mod Podge is what you're gonna use once this is dry to seal your flour. And all you do is dip your, once everything, and I would let this dry for 24 hours, okay, at least 24 hours. And then you dip your paintbrush into your Mod Podge, let's pretend it's there, and then you go over just around the, all over what you've painted, but just a little past the edge of what you've painted. Make sure you go a little past the edge, okay? And that is gonna seal your paint to your container. And that way, if you were, if you're putting water in this and you're putting a little flower in here, it's going, and water drips down, it's not gonna take off your paint, okay? The other reason too is you're painting this on a slick surface, and if you just leave it raw like that, you'll be able to chip it off with your fingernail. So the Mod Podge, which I gave you in your packet, will help to seal that, and it has a gloss to it, so it'll make it a little bit shiny, kind of like what you already have here. All right, there you go. I hope you enjoyed it. See you soon.